serve and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell, www.houseofreconciliation.org.
I want to welcome all of you in and thank you for joining us. We're here at the Greenville campus, an in-person service this evening on a Wednesday. To all those that are joining us from the Greenwood campus, as well as those that are part of our Greenville campus, as well as our virtual campus, and to all of our global partners. I was reading and seeing some of the numbers from Zimbabwe, South Africa, and actually had some people in China, as well as British Columbia, and Peru, and Brazil. So I'm thankful for the global outreach that we're having. I was just having a conversation about strengthening the vibes of the in-service campus here at 1427 Suite E Lawrence Road every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and then every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'd love to have your face in the place. We're not going to waste your time. This evening we're going to, there were I think it was like maybe 6 things that we were talking about in finding yourself. And then of course, people are still interested in money. So I kind of combine the two together. Kind of goes like this. So goes the mind, so goes the money. So goes the mind, so goes the money. And then I think when I sent it out to the media team, I put your money. So I just changed it because somebody might be mad, upset. But it comes out of Proverbs 21:5. And I know this is a tough month for people because people are going and they're getting in debt. They're getting loans to celebrate one day. There are people who are waiting to file their taxes on January the 1st. And I say to you from a financial perspective, if you got to wait all year to spend money, that people have made money off your money. Receiving that money, most people that receive it can't tell you what they did. They paid off a bill, they paid on a bill, but it's never sown. So I say again, so goes the mind, so goes the money. Proverbs 21:5 says it this way in the English Standard Version. It says, the plans of the diligent. And here's where many people are lacking, because many people can't pay attention long enough to put a plan together in their life. It says the plans. What are your plans? What are your budget? And from a corporate perspective, most people know already whether or not they're going to make their budget, or whether or not they're going to break even, or whether they're going to have a loss. And so from a corporate standpoint, most of us are working on second quarter. We know how first quarter is going to be going. The target for the Feds is 2.2. I think inflation is still at 7+%. Also, they are saying, the economists are saying that 2023 will be a recession. So the question becomes, and I always use this disclaimer, do you want to hear what you already know? Do you still want someone to validate your insecurity? Or do you want to really listen and figure out how to prepare yourself? Because we have multiple stories, a multiplicity of stories in the Bible, how Joseph prepared the Egyptians for the 7 years of prosperity and the 7 years of famine. And we kind of have this myth in the culture of the churches that you're never going to have a famine. You're going to have a famine. You're going to have bad leaders. You're going to have dysfunctional people. The problem is, are you positioned to weather the storm? So I say again, so goes the mind, so goes the money. The plans of the diligent lead surely to an abundance. You should now have your first quarter already budgeted out. You should know what you can, can't, and shouldn't do. And I always say this, you can, but should you? So then this goes back to the mind. Whatever is feeding the mind has control over the behavior. Here's what the bottom end of the text say, part C. But everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. Quick decisions without proper infrastructure will always fall. It doesn't matter how good it looks. It doesn't matter how great a message appears to be. I challenge you to analyze it. Take notes. Challenge the speaker. Challenge the preacher. Challenge the prophet. Because whether we know it or not, we all work for you. You are the sheep of God. So goes the mind. What does that mean? What you allow to your eyes to see, and what you allow your ears to hear, and what you allow yourself to submit to. So goes the mind. So goes the money. So goes your future. Is that important? I heard when I first came in years ago in ministry, that's my mama church. That's my daddy church. I was born and bred in that church. They're going to bury me outside in the cemetery. How you know? How do you know they're going to bury you? Somebody come by that plot of land. Listen, I know parking lots over cemeteries right now. In fact, I know one right in Kennedy Park. There were 12 people buried on the corner of the church. They told those 12 people, y'all got a year to get your people off here. If not, we're going to pave over them. Took the tombs off, paved over. So what are you allowing to position itself in your mind? But everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. When you don't have a solid plan, when you don't know which direction you're going, when you're always trying to manage confusion, the Bible says that God is not the author of. I don't care how good it is, how well it sounds, how great it looks. If it's confusion, confusion comes to hide the truth from those who want to know it. It's an old saying, conquer and divide. But everyone who hastily comes, everyone who just runs with his or her emotions and feel like, and this is where I'm going, and feel like I have enough. I had a young couple come to me 19 years ago. They wanted to sit down, and he wanted to, and I'm going to use this old phrase, he wanted to beat the drums for the church for an offering. And she was going to go into service, and they had a card, and they said, the car we have should last us the rest of our life, and they both was 19. And I went outside, and they was driving a 1961 car. And in their world, it was real. But in reality, they were in bad shape. So here's what I want to say. I said this earlier. Listen to learn. And that sounds easy, doesn't it? Listen to learn, not to respond. Your response should come from your intellect and intelligence. Your response shouldn't come from your emotions and your attitude and your lack of discipline. That's how people get hurt. They say what they say, but we call ourselves God's children. But we break up our brothers and sisters in the church. So I go back and say, listen to learn. But I have something. Because when you respond to something, because there are a lot of teaching, a lot of preaching, and what they want is an immediate reaction. They want you happy. They want you joyous. And there's nothing wrong with praise and worship. That's what we should do. But to me, I'm saying this to you. So I worship, but what have I learned? Though I feel good, how does this answer my prayer? What does that mean? The same people that crossed the Red Sea had a celebration led by Myron, Moses' sister. But these are the same people who couldn't cross over and take land that they were supposed to possess. Your praise should help your spiritual motivation to take charge of your life, not just leave you emotionally high. The Bible says in John that the Spirit of the Lord comes to lead, teach, and guide. So I'm emotional, but I don't have substance. Emotions don't build substance. Here is what I will ask you about watching, following, and commenting on the House of Reconciliation or Successful Living, will you trust the process of new information? If you plan to move your life forward in 2023, it's going to take new information. It's going to take a new strategy. One of the most challenging things I've seen with people who've come to me and asked me for financial classes, personally for couples and things like that, I say to them, finances are built off of your values. Finances are built off of your values. If you don't have values to save, didn't come from a culture of saving, had no mentors to understand what a savings and debt-free and know what to do with tax returns and bonuses and raises. Most people get bonuses, raises, and taxes to go spend. People who are meticulous about their finances, they don't never take a raise. Every one of the raises they get and the bonuses that they go into investments and retirement and to savings. It's split up into 4 categories. Because here's the problem. Most people are living in today, and they're never prepared for tomorrow. So I know what church people say. Take no life, but where you do? Okay, so what happens if you wake up tomorrow? You got nowhere to live, nowhere to go. And then you get older. I have so many people who are now above 63 and 64, and I tell people from a business perspective, in the South, you had 50 years to work in the workforce, and you rushed to get a fixed income called SSI. You rushed. All the overtime that you work, all the things that you did, so goes the mind, so goes the money. What you did not take the time to sit down and plan and think. You just figured your health was going to remain the same. You figured your eyesight was going to remain the same. You never thought you would have diabetes, high blood pressure. You never thought obesity would be a part of your life. You never thought that you would have arthritis, or bursitis, and rheumatism. You never thought you would have gout in your big toe. Hello? I like to know where you can go and get a pair of glasses for $50. They put the frames on sale for $79, and that don't have anything to do with the lenses. And I like to see where you can go get lenses at for $30, because every time I go, my lenses are $500, and I have vision care. I'm like, for what? Will you trust the process of new information? And the only way to trust it is to give up what you're accustomed to hearing and thinking about yourself. A false sense of security. I'm great. I'm fine. Oh, I'll make it up. Really? One accident can change your whole scope in life. Being in the right place at the wrong time and somebody acting like a buffarilla and you get injured. Now you can figure out what a buffarilla is. Okay? And you get injured. They don't have a stitch of insurance. People don't carry life insurance anymore. Somebody else going to take care of me. Your body is a temple for your success. Listen, I say to people who have certain issues, the reason you can't progress is you hung up on what you already know. Why don't you seek to discover what you need to know to overcome whatever situation you have? And many of that situation is the opinion of other people in your mind. Will you trust the process of new information? Because here's the thing I would say to you. Money is tied to thinking. I had a couple come talk to me, and they was like, oh, yeah, we want to have this. And I said, and then, then I said, but money is based on values. Money is not for the moment. Money is a tool to help bring earthly security and stability in tough times. Till when it's 6 feet of snow like in Buffalo, that either you can work from home, but you have enough coming in, or you have enough in reserve to pay your bills when you may be out of work. for 3 days. Because some people, they don't budget. They work that 1 week and try to pay all their bills in 1 week. There's no way in the world I can pay all my bills in 1 week. But I've trained myself to pay all my bills in 1 day. So the other 4 belong to me. Yeah, you can think about that one. Yeah, that's 1 week, 1 day a month. 1 day a month. Now, that didn't happen overnight. But I've trained myself 1 day a month to take care of all my bills. So the other 29 to 30 days, I would say something, but we don't. Money is tied to thinking, behaviors, and future. What's your money tied to? As soon as you get out of this class, you're going to the chicken shack. You're going to stop by the store, spend $20. Because if you bust a 20, what they give you back in change is dust. It's gone. So the value system, you have to have a value system when it comes to money. But so goes to mind. So what am I saying is, what you plant in your mind and what you allow to feed your mind. And can I help someone who think that everybody think you're crazy? It's because they're not seeing the future. They just seeing the moment. Relationships on the hinge of disturbing because one can't do what he wants to do or what she wants to do because they don't have discipline. Because they think every day is going to be a day that I can get up and go to work. And let me help you out, and I'm saying this. People who ain't used to nothing will never have nothing. And for people who everybody has given something to, look and see how well they have done with what they received. Respect and integrity, and there's something that happens in the human mind when you have to earn something. Here is what most people don't know. Tell somebody it's about to get thick. We got about 14 minutes together. Shake yourself. Brother Cletus, you and others are in a shrinking window. When you will not think today literally puts you a month behind in any goal that you have in your life. You know why? Because you're working. That's all you do is work. And what you do is generate money, but you don't make money. You work. You proud, you wear your logo of your company, you go in and you make your money. Some people are fortunate to get overtime. Others are fortunate to get bonuses. But what has worked for you? A savings, a 401k that you can't touch to 30 years from now? So if they take that away from you, or the company phases out your job, what are you going to do when you're at home? That's when people start pointing fingers. Well, you supposed to be the help. Well, you supposed to be to help me. Well, you supposed to. If you wouldn't have went and bought that car. If you wouldn't have went and did that. You went and got that hair done. You went and bought this over here. You got them shoes. You got this. Well, here's my whole point. Can't either one of you sell anything you got and get more than what you paid for. Because I'm going to ask you a question. Who in your community can buy? Because everybody in your community just about got what you got. Hello? Hello? Yeah. What do you have to scale up? Watch Shark Tank. What do you have to scale up? You go, I can sell this, I can do it. Who? Your neighbor's on the string just like you. Because y'all all bought houses right in the same community. You all probably within $50 to $100 of the same mortgage. 9 times out of 10, you're all working for a company. So how can they buy something from you when they can't buy nothing from themselves? What y'all gonna do, trade debt? You pay for my car, I pay for your car. I bought an electric bike, so we go trade electric bikes? I mean, come on. We are in a shrinking window by dealing with things look at somebody and say, this is going to hurt a little bit. That's irrelevant to you, your future, or your money. What am I saying? What's so goes the mind, so goes the money. Why are you so involved in other people's affairs and not engaged in your own? Ooh, it's going to be mighty quiet in here. You can manage the people on the TV. You watching soap operas and reality shows, and you love video games, playing games. You win at the video game. Do they send you a check? Everything's on the maybe. If I was 6'4", I probably could have played basketball. I almost said something. Probably could have been president. But I mean, you listen, and I'm glad you said that. You can't live your life off of maybe. The two things that have birthed the most on earth is dirt, rain, and the sun. You hadn't planted nothing for yourself. So people are constantly selling you, so goes the mind, so goes the money. Many people are selling you maybe. Maybe you'll get your check in 2 weeks. Maybe, there you go. Maybe they like you, maybe they don't. Maybe. They said that they're going to fix it for me. They said. Okay. Do you have an appointment? Do you have a confirmation number? Because most people are dealing with things, so you need a fan. Most people are dealing with things that are irrelevant to you, your future, or your money. Now, here comes the kicker. That's why we're all dealing with pain and no change. We're not feeding our minds with the substance that we need. This is what I have a problem sometime in churches. We got people all happy. Just put a little music, hit a couple keys, and people start shimming and shaking like that at the club. And, you know, some folks start doing the James Brown and the mashed potato, and other people start doing, you know, what's the name? That's Hush. Tell him my age, James Brown. I ain't mad at him. Then there was the butterfly. Then some people river dancing. Some people shagging. Look. What's the new dances out there now? The stanky leg, you know. That's what like everybody, ow. Okay, what's the new dance? It was twerking at one time. Is it still twerking? Why are you going to twerk an area that you really need to wash? Yes, I said it. You might need to do that out in open space. I just, you know, all that pain and no change in your life. Because so goes the mind, so goes the money. That's the truth. No, I got people all over the world that they like the truth. I mean, but see, y'all love that to my, well, twerking still hot. I love my grandchildren, but I ain't willing to bet that none of them boom boom don't stink. I love them. Oh, you just sweet. The top is sweet, the bottom got an issue. Love you. Brady, look up there laughing. Love you, but it's the truth. This is your papa. This is your inheritance. Swallow it up, choke it. Shake yourself and keep on walking. Really, all that pain that you allow people to put you in, and all that stuff that you're worrying about, how does it change your life? How does it prosper you? How does it restructure your values? How does it arm you for the attacks of the enemy? You know why? No change, because there's no plan. And with no plan, there can be no growth. And without any growth, there can be no gains. If you're working and you're in a dead end situation, you might need to do some reevaluation. What, you gonna work that 5 years to get fired or quit and go somewhere else and work another 5 years and go somewhere else and work another 5 years and go somewhere else and work another 5 years? So goes the mind, so goes the money. Think about it. You're changing jobs every 5 years. Some people change jobs every year. Some people change jobs every week. Some people ain't never happy on the job. Don't care what's going on. 2 days later, what is wrong? Quit. Just go home. All that pain. And normally that pain is not your job. That pain is unresolved issues in your personal life. They just ask you to do the job. And most of the jobs have job descriptions, right? Come on, talk to me. But y'all go to work trying to be buddies and light and I'm an authority. Well, you're just an authority for the moment. Go to HR. See how much authority you have. Correct me if I'm right or wrong. Here's the thing. Here's the real nut in the shell. All that pain and no change or plan or growth equals no gains. You got to get your dreams back. Ask me why they're so critical. They're connected to your gifts. Let me tell you why. You cannot let your gifts die. At some point, the creator of life, the source of life, the God of the universe, is going to ask you, what did you do with the innate inheritance that I gave you? I have given you 40, 50, 60 years to discover it. And you're going to come up here and tell me you worked at the Butterfly Company for 40 years and you retired with a gold watch and you were the third shift supervisor. I gave you a gift. I gave you a gift. This is a wake up. I gave you a gift. You're going to be like the one who hid his gift. So just in theory, young man. So in the parable of Luke 19, verse around 13, about the master who gave out gifts, gave one 5, I think one 3, and the other one 1. And the one that had 1 hid his gift. And he actually knew what his gift was. Many people have gifts but won't work their gifts because they're afraid of the repercussion. But I'll say this to you, no airplane can fly without the friction of the wind. You're going to meet resistance and friction when you start making progress in your life. You can't let your gifts die over other people's egos, their titles, their controlling nature. The talents that the master entrusted you with. That's where we're going. Number 3 was discover yourself. So that's where we're headed. If you don't discover yourself, you're gonna be held accountable. What are you gonna tell God? They held me back, Jesus. They control my mind. People that control your mind control your destiny. People who create confusion keep you at the brook and you never cross. Because you're connected to things that are not connected to you. Can't let your gifts die. Here's what I got out of it. You have been given a gift for a reason. And you have to be accountable. Not to man, but to God for that gift. Can't let the preacher hold you up. Can't let the deacon board keep you back. You can't let Uncle Jesse and Sister Birdine. You can't let your childhood fears or your midlife crisis. Because when you answer to God, what are you going to tell him? You're just going to give him another excuse. No man gave you that gift. It was inherited through humanity, but it was a gift from God. So that talent. And what he said was, go and produce. This is the thing. This is one of the biggest things I have when I looked at Occupy. It talks about being a trader and continue to profit and continue to trade. Occupy until I come. Keep building something. Have something of value that if I wait 20 years, you're in a different place in 20 years, but you're still using your gift. You go from loving the game to playing the game to coaching the game to owning the game. So I question and say, what are we doing? You were gifted for a reason. So goes the mind, so goes the money. Poverty is a spirit, and in many issues, poverty is a choice because people are too preoccupied. I'm not talking about people in third world countries where there's always, like in a nation today, part of a continent today, the president lost his mind, and then, he tried to create a cult. And then they wind up getting rid of him because he was going to try to get rid of them. You always have dictators. You always have somebody who want to take over the world. But those that know what's right band together and can keep it together. And sometimes we get caught up in too many other people's ideologies. Let God speak to you. He's the one who gave you the gift, didn't he? So why would I let you tell me about my gift? What's wrong with me? Is my ears not clean? Did I not get the wax out of my ears? And God told you to charge me for telling me I already know I'm supposed to be blessed. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. I'm the kind that says, why would I let you speak to me for what I already know? I challenge you. You are given gifts for a reason. As I close, so goes the mind, so goes the money. God bless y'all. You can turn it up since you got off your phone. You start charging you every time I see you on your phone. Charge you money. You just wearing that little Woodmont Proud, aren't you? Okay. Woodmont Wildcats established in when? 1966? Well, I didn't say nothing bad, did I?